It's the Ryan Gang thing, you can come and hang with us, yeah, yeah. Get familiar with the name, it's the Ryan Gang, it's the...
What's poppin'? Welcome to our channel. Alright, you guys, so we are back with another video. You heard me. Okay, so we are here, we are doing another video. This video is going to be about Alayah's sickle cell. If anybody knows
disease.
Yes, if you guys follow us, or anybody, if you guys know us, then you know that Alayah has sickle cell disease. I'm gonna do this video in parts because there's just so much to cover. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
You know me? You guys know I love toys.
So this video is going to be done in parts, like I was saying, because it's just so much. There's so much to know. There's so much information, and I want to make these type of videos because obviously I have a daughter that has sickle cell disease. So I am going to insert what sickle cell disease is. I did do a video already about what sickle cell disease is, but I'm going to insert it here real quick. So Alayah was born with sickle cell. She got sickle cell disease because I have the trait and her father has the trait. And we weren't really responsible when it came to asking questions about, you know, our health, you know, and our family's health and stuff like that. So, you know, our baby has sickle cell disease. So I wanted to do these type of videos because I have a baby with sickle cell disease. Obviously, I'll have to, you know, be her rock. I'm going to be her rock for her for the rest of her life. And I need to know, and I want to know everything there is to know about, you know, her disease so that I can know how to deal with it and how to help her cope and all of that stuff. I need to know as much as I can. So I want to make videos for people who have kids with sickle cell disease, or maybe, you know, maybe you have a family member, you know, a little cousin, uncle, auntie, whoever. Maybe you know that if you have somebody in your family or a friend or a lover or anybody that you know, if somebody has sickle cell disease, you want to know everything there is to know about the disease so that you can help your people cope. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm making these videos. So if anybody can learn or anybody can get any information, or if these videos can help anybody, that's the purpose of these videos. Also, I'm doing the videos because I want to. Alright, so last year in September, I made a video, a sickle cell disease awareness video, because my daughter has sickle cell. So I made the video because I wanted to spread awareness. I made the video in September because September is Sickle Cell Disease Awareness Month. And so I made the video for awareness. I also made a video, a vlog, when we went and did her comprehensive visit for, you know, her sickle cell check and stuff like that. So in this video, I'm really going to be talking to you guys about how, you know, what she goes through personally, like the things that she's had and the things that she went through. I'm going to talk about, you know, she's sick, she's in school, and all of that stuff. So it's going to be personal. And the part 2, I'm going to do pretty much talk about sickle cell, its complications, and things that you can get from having sickle cell. A lot of the things that you can get, like she hasn't had any of those things, but these are things that she can get and she may have to deal with in the future. We're going to talk about her medications, what they do, and all kinds of stuff, you guys. So just bear with me, okay? Because I tried to put me a script together so that I'm not all over the place, but it's a lot. So y'all just work with me, okay? I want to use the correct term. Let me do something really quick.
I'm gonna be 6 on my next birthday.
You sure are. You sure are. So we know what sickle cell is. Okay, so Alayah has been taking medications since she came out. Okay, she was taking folic acid. Well, she's taking folic acid still.
I can't hear my dad.
I don't care. Turn that down or leave. I'm trying to do a whole video, bruh. I can't hear my... No, turn it down. Alayah, I can't do a video with you in my ear with that noise. So you can go in the room. You can go in the room. She was taking penicillin up until she turned 5. And then when she turned 5 this year, no, she turned 5 in 2020. And she stopped taking the penicillin, but she takes the folic acid and she takes the hydroxyurea. The folic acid helps make new red blood cells. And she was taking the penicillin to like pretty much fight off infection because her body can't fight off infection because her spleen doesn't work. That's another thing that sickle cell patients deal with. They don't have their spleen. They either don't have a spleen or their spleen doesn't work. And the spleen is the part of the body that helps to fight illnesses and stuff like that. And her spleen doesn't work, so that's why we were in the hospital so much when she was, born. But between the time she was born and turned 5, she's been hospitalized over, a couple dozen times. And most of those times we have to stay, for 3 days to a week or so until, she became better and we could go home. But now that she's 5, when she turned 5, she got a shot that helps fight against the infection, and that way when she does go to the hospital, she doesn't have to stay. They won't have to admit her. She also takes hydroxyurea. She started taking that probably when she was I think when she turned 3 or 4, she started taking the hydroxyurea. And what the hydroxyurea does is makes your red blood cells bigger. I'm gonna have to kick you out of this video.
What's up?
And it's about you.
Gang? What's up?
Y'all see Raylan, my baby, need a haircut and some more stuff. Look at him. But we better cut that stuff short. You ready? Alright, so like I was saying, what the hydroxyurea does is it makes your red blood cells bigger. It helps them stay rounder and more flexible. It makes them less likely to turn into a sickle shape. The medicine does this by increasing a special kind of hemoglobin called hemoglobin F, which is another thing. So hemoglobin F is the fetal hemoglobin. What the fetal hemoglobin is, it's the healthy blood cells. When you're born, you got the fetal hemoglobin, which is good. Once you cross like a certain age, then your blood starts to sickle some. The more fetal hemoglobin that you have, the more good blood cells that you have. And at one of her appointments a couple years ago, they told me that Alayah has hereditary persistence of fetal hemoglobin, which is an unusual condition in which red blood cells contain greater than normal amounts of hemoglobin F. About 1 in 1,000 African Americans have hereditary persistence of fetal hemoglobin, compared with about 1 in 12 who have sickle cell trait. The gene for HPFH is passed down from parent to child, just like hair color and eye color. It cannot be identified with the blood test done at birth because the newborn baby normally has a large amount of fetal hemoglobin. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm reading, see, it's so much to know, you guys. Like, I just read this right now. So it says important things to know about it. It says extra vaccines given to children with sickle cell disease to protect against pneumococcal infection are not required for children with this hereditary persistence of hemoglobin. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to actually keep that right there so that I can get more into that. But that's what Alayah has. So, okay, cool. So because she has that, that means that she'll always have a percentage of the fetal hemoglobin in her body, which is the good blood cells. So that's a plus, actually, that she has that. So those are the medications that she takes, and I also give her daily vitamins. So Alayah goes to the doctor every 2 to 3 months so they can check her hemoglobin, and she gets poked in the arm, and they take her blood, and they have, you know, run it and make sure her levels are good and all that stuff, and that's every 2 to 3 months. Also go to make sure that the medications are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So that's what she does every 2 to 3 months. She also has a yearly comprehensive visit, which is a visit where she talks to all the doctors, pulmonology, cardiologist, the dietitian. We see the social worker, hemonc doctor, which is the sickle cell doctor, everybody. So we discuss her medical, you know, physical, her everything that has to do with life, how she's doing in life. You know, we talk about school, which is another thing that we're going to talk about, because she did start school and we had to get a 504 plan in place because she has sickle cell disease. She sees a cardiologist to get an ultrasound on her heart. It's called echocardiography, which she goes to radiology to get a transcranial Doppler ultrasound, and they do these to diagnose medical conditions like stroke. They detect acute stroke episodes. And I was just looking at this actually today. I didn't know that. See, it's so much to learn. It's like it's never ending learning here. Okay, so with the ultrasound on the brain, they look for acute stroke episodes. So they looking for basically stroke activity. But sickle cell patients can also have silent strokes, and it don't pick up on silent strokes. Only an MRI picks up on silent strokes. So far, she had one pain crisis, which was in 2017, in September actually, and they gave us oxycodone to give to her for the pain, and that lasted about a week or so. She was good. Other than, you know, her catching fevers and us having to go immediately to the hospital because of respiratory infection. She got admitted a lot. So she's been through that, and other than that, it's just really just, you know, us staying on track with her doctor visits and stuff like that, and making sure we getting her ultrasounds done, and making sure we're going to see all the doctors that we need to see. That's pretty much all we do right now so far, you know, with Alayah, and, you know, concerning her sickle cell. Now let's get into school. So Alayah's in school now, and that's a whole nother situation on its own, okay? Because she has sickle cell, she has a 504 plan put into place, which is a chronic illness form. The chronic illness form is to keep the school informed about your child and the diseases or whatever medical conditions that they have. This is what the 504 plan is in place, so that everybody can be on one accord as far as my baby, you know what I'm saying, or your child, because everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know. All the staff needs to know. Any substitute that comes in needs to know. And she started school in August, and since then, like, I've had to go back and like add things to her 504 plan, just because there's always so much, you know, and it's so much, and there's always something to add. Like, we had her 504 plan done, and then I had to be like, okay, wait, we need to add a substitute teachers in there. All the substitute teachers need to know what's up when they come to substitute for my daughter's class. And then it started raining, you know, when it was raining, because I'm in Arizona, it was raining a couple weeks back, and I'm like, oh shoot, I need to throw that in the 504 plan. Like, she can't be in the rain. Like, if she's in the rain and then she goes into the class wet and it's freezing in there, she can have a crisis, because it's going to be too cold. And as far as the temperature and extreme cold, extreme, like, that's kind of stuff that you as a parent, it's your job to stay on top of that. Like, they don't know nothing at the school. They don't know nothing about sickle cell disease. They're like, what? I'm like, wow. I got to school them on everything there is to know about sickle cell disease, and baby, I will. Okay? They will know everything about sickle cell disease by the time I'm done with them. Cause they're gonna know. Ugh. Okay, so I have a copy of Alayah's 504 plan, and I'm just going to read off some of the stuff that's in her 504 plan. All right, so it says, see, look, it's confident. All right, so it says, staff should contact Miss Ryan and the school nurse immediately if Alayah exhibits any of the following symptoms: fever of 101 degrees or greater, paleness, slurred speech, vision changes, excessive fatigue, moderate to severe pain, inability to use an arm or leg, shortness of breath. If symptoms are severe, the school nurse should contact 911. Do not provide Alayah Tylenol without parent consent. Due to the seriousness of a fever, Alayah's temperature should be checked at least twice to verify results. And I had to get on them about that because Alayah had a fever. No. She didn't even have a fever. So what happened was they called me, talk about Alayah said she don't feel good. She got a cough and her nose is running. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll come pick her up right now. They was like, well, how long do you think it'll take you to get here? And I'm like, I'll be there in 3 minutes. So I got to the school, got my baby, came home. Immediately I took her temperature and she had a fever of 103. So I don't know how they didn't see that. I'm like, what? Like, they were like, oh, I called them. I'm like, my baby has a whole fever. They were like, oh, well, we checked and she didn't have a fever. I'm like, they were like, well, maybe, is there any chance that she got a fever after she got home? I'm like, well, in between a phone call from the nurse asking me to pick her up and the time I got home, I could say it probably was about 10 minutes or less. I don't see her fever just magically appearing just because she was at home now. So they was like, well, we're gonna update that her temperature should at least be taken twice just to verify. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. That's fine, but they got to do better. They got to do better. Like I said, and I keep telling them, I will come and talk to y'all every day if I have to, because I just need y'all to know. I just need everybody to be on the same page, and I need y'all to know. Nobody cares about the kids like the parents do. Like, they care, but they don't care about the kids like we do. Like, don't nobody care about my kids like I care about my kids. So I'm gonna be on everybody's ass when it comes to my baby. Okay, so it also says hydration. Children with sickle cell anemia may dehydrate quickly. Alayah should be encouraged to take frequent trips to the water fountain. Additionally, she should be allowed to keep a water bottle at her desk. Okay. Children with sickle cell anemia cannot concentrate their urine and may need frequent bathroom breaks. Alayah should be allowed to go to the restroom whenever she needs. During PE, allow Alayah to rest or participate in alternative activities as needed. Children with sickle cell may tire more easily than others, and prolonged strenuous activity may lead to painful episodes. Exposure to extreme hot or cold temperature may cause Alayah physical pain. Allow her to stay indoors during extreme weather. Monitor her temperature and do not give her ice packs, because don't put no ice pack on her. Times when Alayah may need to remain inside include mornings before school, evening during dismissal, and recess, because they had my baby standing outside and it was so hot. And this was in August when school first started. I'm like, oh, no. You can't have my baby standing in no hot ass sun. Can't do it. So let's do something to fix that. So it says maintain frequent communication with Ms. Ryan. All staff working with Alayah, which includes field trip, chaperones, and substitute teachers, should be aware of her condition and the safety procedures outlined in the plan. Make sure y'all tell them that the substitute teachers need to know. Keep a folder at the desk, something, so that they know. Make sure that you guys are, or that the school is communicating with substitute teachers. It's the parents. It's your job. It's your job to stay on them. Oh, I got her. And then it says, Alayah's substitute teacher will receive a copy of the CDC information to review and keep in the substitute's folder, and also her 504 plan will be kept in the folder. Exposure to water can trigger a sickle cell crisis. When it's raining, it is very important that Alayah stay dry and warm. If her clothes do get wet, she should be sent to the nurse to change them. So that's pretty much what I have on there right now, but I do see this growing. As Alayah grows, and the further along we get, the more that I'm learning about this, you know, because it's so much. Like I said, you guys, it's so much to know about sickle cell. There's so many things that can happen to her. There's so many things that she can go through, and I just gotta keep an eye on it. I gotta keep an eye on it. I gotta stay on top of it. I gotta know things, and it's your job as a parent to stay on top of it. It's your job as a parent to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as school or anybody else that, you know, is gonna have your child. Even if they go spend the night at a cousin's house or anything, like, everybody needs to know. Like, the cousins need to know. Everybody needs to know that your child has what they have. If they have sickle cell disease or have anything else. It's 2:22. So I'm gonna end that right here, and that's gonna be it for today's video. I'm gonna end that right there, and you guys stay tuned and stay on the lookout for a part 2 of this video, because I am doing a part 2 of this video. And like I said, that's gonna be more like a more in-depth video. But the part 2 is going to be about, you know, like I said, about anything that could happen. All of the complications of sickle cell disease and, you know, stuff like that. And that's what we're going to get into. So you guys, thank you for watching. Share this video with your people. If you know anybody that has sickle cell disease, or has you know, if you have a family member with sickle cell disease, or you have, you know, parents of new babies that have sickle cell disease, whatever. If you just want to know about it, watch this video, share this video, go to our channel and watch our other videos. Stay tuned for more videos, because, you know, we got a long way to go with this. So yeah, you tell them to do anything?
Subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our other channels, and
like this video. Leave a comment for Alayah. You guys leave hearts for Alayah.
Big fat thumbs up.
My baby. Alright, you guys.
A big fat thumbs up. Give a big fat thumbs up.
Alright. See you guys in the next video.
Bye.
It's a Ryan Gang thing. You can come and hang with us, yeah, yeah. Get familiar with the name. It's the Ryan Gang. It's the Ryan Gang.